Hey world, it's your host Marshall, and thanks for tuning into my podcast, Run On Thoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Good morning, thought thinkers. I'm back at it again for another episode of Run On Thoughts. I am excited to be here. It's a rainy Sunday morning, and that just means that the flowers will grow. The streets will become clean. I see everything as a blessing because guess what? Yes, it can always be better, but it can always get worse. And so we are always living in a state of gratitude. And I am grateful for all of you guys. I am grateful for anyone who is listening for the very first time. I am grateful for all of you who have been on this journey with me since the beginning. I am all of myself, even as I evolve. And that is what I want for you guys. I want for you to be able to stand in your truth. I keep getting asked to talk about relationships and social media and all the things that people say. Yes, I have opinions. However, I'm going to keep reiterating that the best relationship is the one with yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The relationship with yourself comes first. And there is nothing or no one who can make me believe otherwise. Sometimes we want love. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we want connection. Sometimes these deep relationships that we want while still carrying wounds. Wounds that we haven't faced within ourselves. I know so many of you want these romantic relationships or healthy relationships with your parents or healthy relationships with friends or siblings. But the truth is, you can't even begin to figure out those relationships until you build the necessary tools within yourself to have a healthy relationship with yourself. That's why I want to talk about the uncomfortable truth that no relationship can truly thrive until you begin doing the work on self. Because just like the trauma changed you, healing changes you. It changes your boundaries. It changes your habits. It changes your standards. And sometimes even your desire for constant companionship. I know many people, I see them out in social media, they're realizing that the more you heal, the less you seem to need from other people. And that's okay because you really shouldn't be needing anything. It should be a want or a compliment, right? You should go in fully understanding who you are, fully understanding that you are not perfect, and fully understanding that others are not perfect. And you should be looking for people who most compliment who you really are, not what you need to survive like water. So if you've ever felt guilty for pulling away to focus on yourself, this conversation is for you and me, right? We all have to learn how to be with ourselves because sometimes the reason relationships feel exhausting is because we're asking other people to carry parts of us we haven't learned to hold ourselves. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes, what did I say? Sometimes the reason these relationships feel heavy is because we're asking people to carry parts of us that we haven't learned to hold ourselves. Like if you are sad, you are looking for someone to make you happy. If you are traumatized or if you are broken, you are looking for someone to fix you. And none of that is possible. But then you go on in these relationships and you're mad at the other person. You mad that they have hurt you. But the truth is, after they have hurt you the first time, you then become responsible for that hurt. Right? Like if you lied to me and I stay for 15 more lies, I cannot be mad at them because I was standing tall in the idea of hope that they would change for me because I feel lovable, when in truth you don't feel lovable. And I'm sure that feeling loved is the thing that you need to work on, but you're so busy looking outside for love. You're so busy believing that yonder, way up there, is going to be able to fix you that you have done none of the self-work required so that you will love yourself. You got to love yourself. I know that we all struggle, and many of you struggle simply to even say it out loud. So say it out loud. The relationship with yourself is the one that is the primary relationship. The reality that no relationship around us can truly work if we haven't started working on ourselves first. Sometimes healing changes the way we even connect. And that's okay too. That's okay. I know that most of us don't like change because sometimes that change and the change when you grow, it can create distance. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is spend time alone long enough to hear yourself clearly again. And alone doesn't mean, I'm not one of those people that believes that you need to go into absolute isolation in order to change. But I do understand that you need to become your own friend. I enjoy spending time with myself. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy spending time with my friends, with my family, with my loved ones. I just also include myself as my own friend. So many of you go into isolation and then you get depressed. But because the truth is, even isolation, unless you are your own friend, you're going to suffer. I see so many people saying that they are alone and that they are lonely. Those are two very different things. I spend a lot of alone time. I am never lonely because I have a relationship with myself. And I mean a real relationship with myself. I know what I like, which is why when I enter into relationships or make the decision to say yes or no to something, it is based on what I like or how much I love the other person. And if what they are asking me makes them happy, but it doesn't take me out of who I am. I'm going to talk about my friend Jen. She enjoys Harry Potter. Sorry, Harry Potter fans. I do not enjoy Harry Potter at all. So she dragged me to a Harry Potter event and I had a blast. But most of the blast that I had was because I enjoyed watching my friend have fun. I enjoyed her joy. Harry Potter ain't never hurt me. I'm not disgusted by Harry Potter. Harry Potter is not against my morals. Do you see what I'm saying? So because of that, even though I don't want to go, I want to see my friend happy and in a state of joy because I am not jealous or envious of her joy. I enjoy her joy because I enjoy what makes me happy. It's a crazy thing that you're going to find out because the more you heal and the more you become in tune with who you are, the more you don't give a damn about what other people are doing because you want for them to also exist in their own joy. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's why I'm not really talking about solitude during healing, right? I'm not telling you to reject or punish people, but sometimes, right, it's necessary for transformation. And remember, for me, it's not about solitude. It's about making a conscious decision to make you your best friend. Are you your best friend? Because I am my best friend. And this started a long time ago for me. I always go back to the fact that I recognized that my mother wasn't happy here and my mother had a drug addiction. I don't know what was going on with me. I don't know if I was born with discernment. I don't know what, but I know that the core of me recognized that I needed to have a relationship with myself. And I also realized early on that I did not fit in most places, right? And fit in most places doesn't mean that I wasn't accepted. Everyone in my family has always accepted me as I am, but I didn't fit into the spaces that they were in. And because I don't want to judge the spaces that they are in, because they might be happy there, I recognized early that I needed to find a home within my own head. And maybe that's where all this run on thoughts comes from. I have always had conversations in my own head. And yes, I answer myself. I ask myself questions. I answer myself because I need to think and see the thought clearly. When I am having sessions with people or life coaching or talking to one of my sisters and she'll say, "Why did I feel this way?" I'll say to her, "Well, did you answer yourself?" And she'll go, "No." And then I'll go, "Answer it." Because you'll be surprised that sometimes you have the answer, right? You are the space. You are the energy. You are your own kingdom. You are the yin and yang. I don't even necessarily believe that people are good and bad. People are trying to be all good. And that is why you are suffering. I am not all good. And I am clear that I am not all good. I believe that I am decent. I believe that I stand 10 toes down, but I am not all good because I believe the problem with the world is that goodness thinks that it has to be all good. And because of that, evil gets to do whatever the fuck it wants to do. I think I'm going to talk about that in another episode because I want for us to understand. And sometimes these ideas don't come unless you are having a conversation with yourself. The world is upside down because so many people think that they got to be exactly what the world is telling them what they are. But the truth is, it's a lie. It's a lie to control your mind. It's a lie so that they can get you to buy, to spend, to submit, to be scared, to be exactly what they need you to be so they can extract from you like you are some type of fucking robot. But I'm here to tell you that if you stop, I know for many that the pandemic was scary. But for a host of other people, it was a time to stop. It was a time to get off of the rat race. It was a time to slow down. It was a time to see that you didn't even have real relationships with your family, with your loved ones, with your children, with yourself. It was a time for you to see that everything that you were doing was just simply to survive. Because of the structure, we are in this rat race unbeknownst to us, and we don't know what we are doing, and it feels impossible to change. But the truth is, the change is inside. The change is internal. It is a work that you must do for yourself. Joy is not out there. Peace is not out there. Love is not out there. All of these things are in you. But you got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to all this pain that you are in. All this pain that you are in. Guess what? guess what? You're surviving with it. You're surviving with it. You're hurt. I tell people being poor is some hard shit, but guess what you know how to do? You know how to survive. You know how to make a way out of no way. You know how to figure it out. But you got to tell your mind that you want something else. Because if you got the tools that come with the privilege of making a way out of no way, I am telling you that you can do anything. You can do anything to succeed. You can do anything to heal. So make a choice. Some of us are afraid of change because we are afraid of the pitfalls that come with change. But I'm telling you that you've already mastered how to make a way out of no way. You already have the tools to be and become your greatest self. Because you already know how to do without. You already know how to look around and see everything you need to see and make a way out of no way. You know how to make abundance with 1 grain of rice. You know how to do it already. So with that, stand 10 toes down in deciding that you are enough. You are enough to heal. You are enough to love. You are enough for change. You are enough to be your most authentic self. And you are enough to accept that the more you heal, the less valuable you may be to the many, but the more valuable you will be to yourself and those that love you. And that is okay. The higher you go physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, it starts to get thin. But that's okay because you are of value. And that's what high value really means. It don't got nothing to do with money. High value is the work that you have put into yourself internally, so that you can be your best self, so that you can set real standards and real boundaries because you've done the real work, because you are decent, because you value yourself, because you value others, because you are not condescending or selfish or greedy or looking just to control someone. But you are of value to yourself. How other people see you is none of your motherfucking business. How do you see yourself? Who are you to you? Do you hear what I'm saying? I want to share with you guys 3 ways to focus more on yourself. First, stop expecting other people to heal what you avoid within yourself. Ain't that some shit? You expecting for other people to fix you. That is one of the reasons why I do not talk about the relationships between people. Because if you're not doing the work of healing and they're not doing the work of healing, but yet you think that they can fix you, get the fuck out of here. Many relationships fail because people expect love to compensate for unresolved pain. A healthy relationship can support healing, but it cannot replace self-awareness, accountability, or the inner work that you have to do for yourself. You cannot build secure love on unhealed abandonment. You cannot build secure love on untreated insecurity, fear of vulnerability, or constant self-neglect. Healing yourself is not selfish. Do y'all hear me? Healing yourself is not selfish. It is your motherfucking responsibility. I'm tired of y'all talking about people all day, every day, on every single solitary platform, people are talking about what's wrong with other people, and nobody is ever talking about what's wrong with their motherfucking self. Fix you. Second, allow yourself to outgrow those old relationship patterns. When you heal, your standards will change. Your communication will change. Your tolerance changes. Some relationships may no longer fit the healed version of you, and that can feel uncomfortable. Healing may cause you to choose peace over attention, boundaries over access, honesty over performance, and solitude over draining connections. Not everyone will understand the new version of you, and that's okay. This is a big one. For people who have been in unhealthy relationships and you know you have to end them and you end them, but there's this pain in your body. There's this longing for them, even though you know that you must move on. The truth is, that's because the person that you are, when you're with them, you're still that person. So you're still on that level. That's why it is important to go into yourself and heal. You have to become better, because once you become better instead of bitter, that relationship, you will no longer be attracted to it because you are on a higher frequency. You are on a higher level. You will no longer be attracted to them physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You will look at them and ask yourself, why were you ever attracted to them? But you were attracted to them because you were in alignment with who they were when you first met them. Y'all are equals. Even when you think you better than someone, your trauma may be attracted to them. So you got to go inside and heal your trauma. And I'm not going to be like one of them lying ass I'm a doctor people, because I don't have to lie. I constantly tell you people that I am not a doctor. And if you feel like you need more than coaching, you should consult a doctor. And anyone who loves you would want you to get the most out of anything for yourself. If you need medication, you should get some. If you need prayer, you should get some. If you need just a friend, you should get one. Get it all. Because that's another thing that healing looks like. Healing looks like not being mad at yourself because you need an entire village to help you through. Third, build a relationship with yourself while staying present in your life. This is what I mean by I do not really believe in isolation, right? I believe in understanding that you are your best friend, that you are your first friend. I want you to understand that self-focus should help you become more connected to your purpose, not disconnected from the world. Continue doing things that make you feel alive. Take yourself out. Work on your goals, create routines, explore hobbies, volunteer, attend events that inspire you. The goal is not to hide from life. The goal is to meet yourself fully within it. I enjoy people every weekend. Somebody at work will ask me, what am I doing this weekend? And I'll say nothing. And that's because I do not force myself to do anything. If there are life activities that I want to join in with my friends and family, I will go out and do them, and I will enjoy myself down. But for the most part, if there is nothing to do, I am fully able to be in the home that I have curated, and I am grateful. I'm so grateful, guys, that I could cry. Because I know where I come from. I know that I come from the motherfucking bottom. And I am not embarrassed of that. And nor do I think that that is a bad thing. Did I want to have come from the bottom? Fuck no. But when you live a life of gratitude, you can see the grace in anything. I can see the power in anything. I can discern in anything. I can understand that I have privilege in anything. There is privilege from all of the experiences, because even if I am learning a lesson, I am always learning that I am in a state of being blessed. Because coming from the bottom, I know how to get it out the mud. I know how to work hard. I know how to take rice and make a meal. I know how to do it. I know how to see everything around me and use it for everything that I need. So I am grateful that I was able to curate a life for myself and curate a home for myself that I enjoy being in. I did not have the best childhood. Either it lacked love at one time, or it lacked things at one time, or safety, or just feeling like I got to be a child. So I enjoy color. I enjoy fantasy. I enjoy having a candy bar in my home with popcorn makers and cotton candy and a hot chocolate bar and an iced coffee bar and slushy bars. And I make ice cream and I make homemade whipped cream. And these things are for myself. I love having to be able to afford beautiful linens and sheets and pajamas and getting in my bed and reading a book and having luscious lotions. And it's not about those things, right? Because it doesn't have to be those things. I love living inside of my head. But even when I didn't have it, and I lived in a basement apartment as a teenage mom with my son, we would get his teddy bears. We would sit them on the sofa. We would get a brush and I would introduce my son and we would have a contest. We would have a talent show. And those were some of the best times of our lives because we had to use our imagination. There was no money where I could take you to the circus or Disney World. We had to use our imagination. We had to go outside and look through nature because I couldn't take us to the museum. I couldn't take us to the science exhibit, but with the magnifying glass and some paper, we would be scientists. It's all in you. It's already in you. You have everything that you need to be in love with yourself, but you have to take the first step. You have to recognize that you matter. You matter. You matter. Your healing, it matters. Loving yourself, it matters. I don't know how many times I could say that you matter, but I want you to understand that you do not need to abandon yourself to maintain relationships. Your healing deserves your time, your patience, your honesty. Your being with yourself can be a place of restoration, not punishment. You are building healthy connections by first healing yourself. It is okay to outgrow versions of yourself that no longer serve you. Healing is not about becoming unreachable. It's about becoming available to yourself in ways you never were before. I'm tired of talking to you guys. Bye.